Empowerment Hour. And I am your very wonderful co-host and wonderful host. And I got Richard Quincy, of course, Joey B. It's my new nickname that I'm taking upon myself. You will hear that more now that I'm taking it upon myself. However, I have some wonderful people I need to introduce. We have a new co-host. This year, we are trying to bring some newness. So I'm going to let her introduce herself. She's been here before, but it's still new. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is European. Yeah, I'm here too.
I mean, some people are.
What do you want me to say? I'm not Joey.
But we have two wonderful guests here. They've been very loyal guys. They honestly should be like some like when this year goes by, they should be like main guests.
Yeah.
Because they be very important. I'll let them introduce themselves. The day before we all you.
Oh, okay. I've been here before. I'm Rachel Pepper Russ. I'm not saying my last name.
Hi everyone. My name is Gifty Adam. Yeah, that's me.
You should have kind of elevated the voice just a little bit for them to hear.
I'm sorry. Hi everyone. Hi, how are you? My name is Gifty Adam. Yeah, that's me.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show again.
Let's get into this.
Yes, of course, let's get into this. But before, I just want to let you know so today we're going to be talking about goals and how to get them done. This is layman's terms of me trying to let you guys know what we're about. But that's a synopsis of what we're going to be talking about. So let's delve right into what you said. But we're gonna start from last year. Like what was a goal that you guys had like all year? You know, that actually got ticked off.
So I started back in 2017 with a prayer journal that I keep each year. So last year my goal, I had three goals, and it came from 1 Thessalonians 1 verse 3. And then let me pull that out because I don't know it offhand right now. Sorry guys. Don't embarrass me. Okay, so First Thessalonians 1 verse 3, which is remembering before our God and Father your work of faith and labor of love and steadfastness of hope in our Lord Jesus Christ. So I wanted everything I do to be work that was filled by faith, labor that was filled by love, and hope that was by steadfast. So that was my goal. And I think I did accomplish it. There were moments where my labor was of forcefulness, but I feel like everything that I tried to do it with the intention of the love in my heart for other people. When I was working, I had faith behind it. Like if I was gonna go into a classroom and take a test, I had faith that the work that I've done, the studying I've done, was done with faith in it. And so I think I actually did. I ticked it off in my journal, so I believe I did it.
Ticked off.
But the one goal that I set out for myself in the beginning of the year was to just dive deeper into my walk. And this is moment of truth. No, this is empowerment hour. Wow. Sorry, so many episodes. This is empowerment hour. So I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest. For a very long time, I felt like I was stagnant in my walk with God. And I felt like I was in the same place that I was from when I was 12 until 18. And I was like, whoa, we have to do better. How can I get out of that feeling? How can I, if it's a well, how can I dig myself out of that? And so, one thing I said to myself was, it doesn't matter what I have to do. I'm going to work towards the goal of not feeling like I'm stagnant in my walk, not feeling like, wow, everybody else is just going full force in their walk and I'm still like where I was like, years ago. And so at that point I didn't know specifically what I was going to do it, but I wrote it down and that's what I wanted to do. So by God's grace, yeah, as the year went on, there were like various like opportunities for me to like, put myself out there and to do like, to do God's work, to take myself out of my comfort zone of like, maybe I don't want to do this, or maybe this isn't what I would usually do, but it's like, well, who cares if this isn't what you want to do? It's like, it's for God. So like, so just various things came along the way that helped me to do that. And so at the end of the year, I was able to really sit down like, yes, this is really the year that, not like I was proud of myself because I did it on my own, accord or anything like that, but it was it was just amazing because by the end of the year it was like, yes, this is really the year that I set out to fall deeper in love with God, and I was able to do that. This was really the year where I wanted to depend on God full-heartedly and not depend on anybody else, on friends or family, or my parents' God, or whatever the case is, but to have it for myself. And so that was one thing that I'm really, really happy about how my year ended last year, because it had its struggles, of course, but it ended on a good note with that. So we thank God for that.
That's good. Sister Ruby, I was gonna let all the ladies go, and then obviously me being the gentleman that I am.
Oh my God.
It's like,
Joey B.
yeah, go ahead.
Last year was, it was a rude awakening, but my main goal was just to stop complaining and to just go get it. Just go get it done. Like, I didn't necessarily write down my goals. I just basically told myself, it's enough time. Like, I've wasted so much time complaining about doing something that I just didn't get done. So this time, I'm not gonna talk. I'm just gonna continue to work towards it, no matter how long. Probably I didn't get there to the end of the year. Like, probably at the end of the year I didn't get where I need to get to, but I got somewhere. As long as you keep on moving, I know that you will always move to the next level. You will always move to the next step. But if you stay stagnant, like how she was saying, in the same place, you're not gonna feel any change. And that was my main thing. It was like, I just wanted to make sure that I was way better than I was 2017, 2016, 2015. My thing wasn't, I need to be rich, or I need to have a new car, or I need to have a new job. No, I need to be better than the Ruby that I used to be. Because I need to reflect and say that, wow, like, if not for God, and of course, if not for God, where would we be? We wouldn't be able to pass all the exams that we had to take. No matter all the studying that you sit down and do, it really takes the grace of God to pass the exams and pass the classes. Sometimes we think it's by our own will because we put in the work. No, faith without works is dead. So if you say you believe in Him and you want something to be done, what are you doing about it? My dad always used to say, like, you can't just go and just lay and say, like, you're not going to do anything, because you're not going to be successful in life that way. If you want to be successful, you have to say that, you know what, I'm not even going to talk much. I'm just going to go and make sure I am. I don't need to discuss it with you. You understand? Like, oh, Gifty, I have plans to be a millionaire one day, but I'm not implementing things to making sure that I'm a millionaire. I'm spending my money every paycheck to paycheck. I'm only spending my money. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk. And I'm also not going to do things that I know that's not going to help me get to the next level. So last year, when I look back, like in December, I really was just so grateful to God that I wasn't where I used to be in January. From January to this point, like this January, I can say that it was a 360 for me. In my spiritual life, everything. I may not be where I need to be. I have my struggles. I'm not perfect. But I know that I'm not where I used to be. And that alone is the biggest accomplishment in my life. So.
Obviously, like, kind of like piggybacking off actually, like, it was definitely
That shit was
lot.
like,
yeah. Like, I did go through a lot. I did go through a lot of struggles and stuff. Like, I was away But it was all in all though, like the kind of strength, and tenacity that I found like myself, like going out there and doing it again and done back without nothing wrong. A lot of people would not go through it. Like a lot of people that I went through training with, like struggle. A lot of people that I went through, they like came across it. I just God. Not everybody goes through that. So I thank God for that, and I definitely thank God because like after I graduated in 2018, it took me like 5. Like how much of a struggle that is, bro. Everybody looking at you like, you graduated now. What are you doing?
What exactly?
What are you doing with your life?
And like, people don't hesitate to ask that.
I was still looking. I was like, yo. Then like something came up, and then I had to leave and go get that done. Came back, I was still secured, and I want to thank God. Like from where I used to be to where I am right now. Anybody knows me out there? Y'all know me. Like
360.
Praise God.
Yeah. The same for me. And I just want to, I've done things I never thought I would. Amazing, a lot of like spiritual, my spiritual life, like from then till now, like seeing that kind of growth, kind of like dawns on you that like, wow, like grace is not enough.
Grace,
it really is
honestly.
not. So like, mental, like just tenacity, like. Yeah.
Amen.
You guys spoke more about like hobbies. Like, what was that one thing that you guys like didn't like just like
that? Last year was 2019. I guess I wanted to lose weight last year, and I got that done. Kind of tragic because I've kind of gained back that weight again. But in that moment, I did lose what I wanted to lose. I was able to check that off my list. Because usually when I come home, I gain weight. But like being home for the summer, I didn't gain weight. I actually lost the weight. And so that just helps you feel like better about yourself.
Yeah.
Like not feel like heavy or like feel like I feel like I'm carrying 2 people, but that was I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like when I gain weight, I just feel heavy in my skin. Like I feel like uncomfortable in my skin. So just losing that and like just feeling like healthier, like you feel healthier, you feel better, like you feel like even your skin looks better, so that was So that was exactly like faces clearing up. Like you feel like everything is just better. Like you wake up and it's like a rainbow, butterfly, sunshine everywhere. I'm exaggerating, but I guess on the not spiritual, that was something that I was able to do.
I don't think I had like a no. I think like everything was just like
tied to God.
Like I literally had to give everything to God because 2019 was
2018 was
2018 was Jesus Christ, but 2019 was Jehovah Jireh. Like I didn't know what I was gonna do, what I could get done, and I was not gonna be able to do it by myself. So I think everything, like, as my uncle would always say, even if a pin falls on the floor, like pray about it. So like everything that I did had to be somehow like spiritual. So I don't think I had a goal where I didn't involve.
Oh, well, for me, like how she's saying, whether it's weight loss, whether it's weight gain, whether it's passing a board exam, whether it's passing an exam for work or certification or anything, I just left it in the hands of God. My main thing last year was really seeking the face of God, and because there was a lot of things that I knew I couldn't do on my own, and I had acknowledge the fact that, God give us the will to choose, and then there's His will. I really wanted His will to manifest in my life. And the only way that could have been done is for me to surrender completely, not partially. And over the years, I always give partial, part of me. I needed to give Him whole of me and everything of me, so He understands that honestly I really cannot do without you. So I always had this perceived notion: the job that you're supposed to get, you'll get it. The degree that you're supposed to have, you'll attain it. That's not my worry. My main worry is making sure that I don't leave the earth not fulfilling the purpose that God has placed on my life. That was my main thing last year. Just striving for that will of God. Yeah.
No, that's not really good.
Last year, I definitely had need for, I was where I needed to be. So, had a car,
We've got
this. I've had it for 4 years, throughout my whole college career. It's been a good companion so far.
It really was.
But then I got to a point I was just like, yo, I
can't.
I was like, yeah, we're done, bro. I'm just gonna leave you here, man. This is it. I was like, wow, okay. So I came back. I came back from. I was like, wow, I actually got somewhere saving. So I went and did it on my own. Like the first time ever.
You felt good.
And I felt good.
My dad,
it was off my children. I gotta pay for it, but it felt good.
It just happened.
It's gonna get paid, Shondo. Hallelujah.
But I don't even think. I
I
think it's not even about the paying thing. I think it's just the independence.
Yeah.
When you get to that level of independence, you feel like, dang, really, God, you are amazing.
Yeah. Like you did it.
Because this is the first time, I'm going out to buy an asset.
Right.
So,
which is an investment for your future.
Yeah. It's a double investment, but if you get places with it, it's a good investment.
It is a good investment.
But yeah. Thank God for that.
Thank God for that.
So, outside of God, though, what do you guys go bad?
You want me to go first? With me, I had to be realistic. I think at times we try to not be realistic with ourselves. Be realistic. What can you do within the next month? What can you do next week? Or within 24 hours? Don't overwhelm yourself saying that, hey, I'm going to do this, and be realistic. And set plans. And for me, it was mostly, like I said, it was for passing my board exam and stuff like that. But for me, I took it at a time. Get all my documents sent in, so then I can be able to take my board. Study for my board. So I took it a month at a time. That's just what I did. I did not try to pile so much. Look for a job. I try to be patient. It took at least 3 weeks or a month. I kept going, the interviews. Very stressful. And then after that, as I was working, I wasn't in the environment that I was in. Again, don't complain. Just make sure you move. And I moved. That's what I did. Oh, it's seriously. Because when you complain and you don't do anything about it, it's like, why complain? So within that, I moved to another place. They treat me well. Fine, no problem. It's just I just try to take a day at a time. I had a goal to actually gain weight, not lose weight, because for me, I was weighing too small because of school and stress. So for me, I lost a lot of weight, and I was like, no, I need to gain. So within the year two, I just wanted to focus on myself, being better, and that was my main thing. It was be a better Ruby. That's just, and love yourself more. That's just what was on my wall. So I keep looking at that and reminding myself every single day. I don't try to too much. Yeah. What about you guys?
I guess.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, thinking about it now, we are students, and so For me, last year was really hard in terms of like classes and things like that. I had a one semester where I had at 8 a.m. every day, like every day of the week, and so like one goal for me, I remember last year was to pass that class, but not to just pass that class, but to pass all my other classes and to finish the semester with the 4.0. And so every day was a struggle, like having that 8 a.m. And we had literally like a test or a quiz every week. And it was just a lot. It was just very stressful. And it's like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I can barely get out of bed and you want me to go and take a test. It was one of those. It was given like the class starts at 8 and it's 7:40 and I'm still in bed. And so for me, every day was remember why you're here. Like, remember, like, who is waiting for you at home. Remember, like, yeah, like, and the degree is going to have my name on it, but it's like, it's for my family and I, like for what God's going to do with my life and, where I'm going to go so I can take care of the people who, have watched me up to this point. So for me, every day was, it's okay. Like, you can do it. And, like, literally in times where I had to, like, get myself out of bed and it's like, it's okay, do what you got to do. Like, yeah, you're tired, but it's like, what's the consequences of not going to class and missing that test? And the teacher's not going to let you remake that. And it's like, then you think about that 8 that you want, and then you think about that 4.0 that you want. So for me, it was an everyday, like, okay, take it one step at a time. Wake up, brush your teeth, take a shower, put on some clothes, grab a snack, go to class, sit there, try to pay attention. Just take, I think I had to take it like hour by hour. Yeah. Like, I had to take it hour by hour. And so I had to like make a schedule and plan out my like actual day to not feel like I'm driving myself crazy or like I'm being overwhelmed because, school and everything else can get so overwhelming. So I literally have to plan it like hour by hour, day by day. But in the end, I achieved what I wanted. So I got that but. And in the end, I was really happy with myself because it was like it was worth it. Like who doesn't like 4.0? Who doesn't like 08?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
I really don't think I think one thing that you said about like scheduling Get Out, I had to get myself a planner because I tend to forget things a lot. So I had to like actually start writing things down, remind myself, or putting like a sticky note somewhere because if it's not somewhere in my phone or on paper or something, if I did not write it down, I'm going to forget. So I think that was something that I had to like get myself to do because at the beginning of the year, I wasn't writing anything down. I was just like, oh, okay, I got this by myself. And so, like, I wouldn't write anything down, forget, and then start to freak out at the last minute. So when I started to write these things down, it was easier for me to go back and be like, okay, I've done this, check it off. And it feels nice when you check things off. Be like,
I'm a checker, too. I take notes everywhere, and I would just go check. Yeah.
It feels so good when you get to check things off. And so, like, that was just, like, also, like, the moment for me. It was like, okay, if I finish this, I need to check it off. So I think that was one thing, like, just scheduling things and making sure that I wrote it down so that I could.
Right. For me personally, it was probably saving money. I've been always like very money, except like trying to get different kind of like. Like it's not about.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not gonna touch that money at all. Type.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, personally for me, like I'm very big on money. There's an app out there that was thinking. I'm getting it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's gonna give me cash back, I'm getting it. Whatever. Like,
I feel that.
Cash back everything.
Cash back everything.
Joey B.
We need to get like Joey B because
you
could save a lot.
Joey the billionaire.
I was really not. I wish.
God willing.
I really don't want to be honestly because there's a lot of taxes, but
Amen.
When you rich, we rich.
Amen.
When you eat, we all eat.
But money saving was definitely one of my things. So, opening like, I had like
wow.
no reason, and then I just started tossing money and whatever else that was left, I saved. I could save it. Also, reading the Bible. I was trying to really conquer like the Bible. what I did was I started in December, started reading. Like, I'm still getting close because, like, I don't know if you guys have this app called, I think it's the Holy Bible app. I was YouVersion.
Mm-hmm.
So like YouVersion has these plans.
I love the
Man,
plans. I'm here
man,
for
YouVersion
it.
is bomb. But so like YouVersion has this like Bible plan like for the whole year. I started in December, and I missed a couple of days.
It happens. I've been missing 3 days
But
sometimes.
all I do is like catch me up, and then I catch up.
Yeah.
So like it's amazing. Like every time I read something, and I'm just like mind blown. I just hit a couple.
Discuss,
talk about it,
yeah.
and then like what's the next one? When I find something interesting, we'll
I'll
talk
let
about
you
that
know.
one too.
Yeah.
So like it's great, man. Especially having people that believe in the same thing that you do. You know, like if goal is the same.
Yep.
But
Definitely.
that Bible app with the plans is great. Like everybody needs to check that out. They have so many. Sorry, I'm like endorsing it right now, but they have so many good new versions. Yes, send a check. But they have so many good plans on, and it's for like anything and everything. Like no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what you want to read about or learn about, they have it on there. If you want to read the Bible in the whole year like Joe, they got you. You want to read just the book of James, they got you. You want to, you want to read about forgiveness, sexual morality, whatever the case is, they got you. So get into it.
You can do things with your friends. It's a great community builder. Just
send the check you version. Yeah.
But like like let's get into this. Like this year, we all have goals again. Like why does it matter to that reachable?
You said goals that are reachable. Like that.
And just be like,
one day I'll do it. Yeah. Well, I think it's important just because you don't want to just go into the year, into life without like having something set. Because then it's like, what are you really like in your life for? It's like if you have something set in place that you want to do or get done, even if it's like something small, like to have that, to work towards that, like that gives you purpose in your life. And so, like yeah, like if you just don't have a goal, it's kind of like, okay, what am I on this earth to do? Like, what am I trying to do? I think like for all of us as Christians, like we have our overall goal, but there's also small parts that we have to do to get to that big goal, which is to allow God to be glorified. And so, like, if that means, like, okay, getting this kind of job so that I can talk to people and God can be glorified through that, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So if you don't have things set in place, you don't have a mindset that you're trying to get to, a goal in your mind that you're trying to get to, then there's, like, no.
I definitely agree. I think I mentioned this, but having a goal, because we all know that feeling that we get, like we were just talking about it, that feeling that we get when at the end of the year we're able to look back at the year, and you talk about that 360 change where it's like you're not where you used to be in it anymore, and that feeling that comes with that of like, not that it's by my own might, but it's by God. But it's just a great feeling, And so having goals that are like reachable and not like far-fetched out there, and it's like maybe I'll accomplish this like 20 years down the line kind of thing. But having goals that like by the end of the year, when December comes, when you sit down and evaluate how the year went, you can be like, wow, let me check this off my list because like I was able to reach this, Let me check this off because like I was able to do it, and having goals allows you to do that because it allows you to realize that like you didn't go throughout the year not doing anything. Mm-hmm. You didn't go throughout the year just living every day, day by day. Like I'll just do going with the wave and like I'll just do whatever today wants me to do. Like no, like what are you actually like striving for? And so having goals that like are reachable allows you to do that. And just that feeling that comes with being able to check it off, it's like, yes, like, I accomplished the goal, like, go me, go God, like, it's just great.
Oh, me? it's just important for growth. I mean, it's important for improvement. Like how they're saying, like who are you living for? What are you doing? And like I was saying earlier, you don't want to leave this earth not knowing or the reason as to why you were created. You didn't do what that reason that you were created for. It wasn't accomplished or it wasn't fulfilled. You know, so I think just having goals are just so important. Just growth itself.
Right.
Like again, when I look back, even we're talking about we just entered a new decade. We're just talking about last year. Let's just look back at the last 10 years. You know, 10 years ago from now, we didn't dress the way we dressing now.
We didn't
talk the way we're talking now. We
didn't believe.
We didn't even
believe.
look like this. You know, which all is grace of God. And you know, we're the God that we're able to do what we're able to do now. You know, we've accomplished so much even last year we're talking about, but within the 10 years, it's a lot. And even if you didn't get to, like I said, don't feel bad that you don't get to your goal at the end of the year, but just be happy that you did something. Because sometimes we beat ourselves down. Shoot, I wanted to save probably like $10,000. Excuse me, I wanted to save $10,000 and I was only able to save $8,000. It's better than what you started off with the year, because if you started off with like probably $1 or $0 and you got to 8, don't beat yourself up. Just
$8,000
work harder next year. So that's the thing. Like, but if you don't set the goals and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna live the next 12 months and do whatever. I mean, that's why some people be complaining. I don't understand, because like we basically have all the authority that God has given us, because God has given us a lot. Like the authority has been given to us, but people just don't know the kind of power that they have in their hands, because we think we can't. But once you change your mindset, like how you're saying, like once we change our mindset of knowing that, you know what, I can be a doctor, no matter what they say. I can be a salon owner, no matter what they say. I can do whatever I want, no matter what anybody thinks, because I'm me. So once you have that mindset and you keep working towards every single day, hey, God gonna bless you by all means. So that's just how I see it.
I just wanted to add something real quick. When you were saying like I can do this, I can do that, like speaking things into existence, like like our tongue has power. Like whatever you say about yourself, whatever you say you're gonna do, whatever you say you have planned to do, like if you speak it into existence, like I'll be like, okay, God. You know, so it's like speak things into existence, speak positive things into existence. Don't speak yourself down. Don't speak other people down, because what you say has power and it can do.
Even in the negative times, because sometimes when we're down, sometimes some of us can get depressed because we failed an exam. I failed a lot of exams, but I don't look like a failure. You understand? I'm just saying. There's nobody. I mean, if you don't fail, you don't know what success means. You've never failed.
You don't know what that feels like.
So you don't know what it feels like, because if you've always gotten AAA, you've never gotten a bad grade before, you're not going to really appreciate that A. You understand? So that's just how I see it. Like, even when you're down, just don't say that, oh, you know, like, man, I should have did. No, just speak positive things. Next time I'm going to get that A. And you're going to get it, regardless of what people say. So, yeah.
I like feel like, or that it's constant.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't have God, like whatever time always a goal you have. Like even salvation, like not just like
There's a reason
like
for
there's
it.
a reason, like there were steps, like there was the birth of Christ. Right after Christ came, did all his works, you know, influenced all of us with his power, gave us all the power we needed. He died, and then gave us Holy Spirit. All of it planned out just to show what he can do, just to show his power, just to show his glory to us. So all of that planned out, and then Him creating us, like Him creating us. You think that if we are created in His likeness, we shouldn't have goals.
Right.
I mean, come on. This thing was so well thought out to this point. To this point that we still believe in this same God. Like it's been 2,000 years, bro. Like.
And I want to share one thing. I was telling a friend of mine. Some of us fail to forget this, and Christianity, if you're a Christian or not, if you're a believer or not, this is true. Before we even, all this that is happening in our lives right now has already happened in the spiritual. And some people don't understand that. It happened already. That's why it's happening now. But we are now physically seeing it. And what's yet to come has happened already. So the thing is, prayer is key. Like how Rachel was saying. The things that we have right now, most of us have prayed for, or if not, our family has prayed for us, and that's why it's so important to keep up that prayer life. It's so important to keep praying and keep going at it. Because like what Joe is saying, honestly speaking, what God did, what Jesus did, is something so unique and something that is so hard to, you can't sit still. Like, you're grateful, you're thankful, because that means we have so much authority and power within our tongues, within our minds, within our hands. And we have to just stand firm and believe that, yes, what was given to us, we can do anything and be anything.
What are necessary steps that, once it, like at the start of the year, like, what are necessary steps that you guys take to try to even come up with a goal? Like, is it because you didn't complete them last year? Like, is it because somebody else is doing it, or is it just, are these goals something that will change you? That because the reason why you do those goals, why you was, I don't know, start.
How does it come about?
How does it come about? Creation of your goals.
In the creation of your goals.
Oh, you know what I was going to say self-reflection. Self-reflection is 100% number one. If you can't look back and say, this I did wrong, this, what do I need to improve in myself is number one. If you can't reflect, you can't look in the mirror and say that, you know what, Ruby, you have a really bad attitude, it needs to stop. Or Ruby, your anger is just too much. You lack patience. Be honest with yourself. You don't need anybody to tell you, just be honest. Once you're able to be realistic, then you can make realistic goals. Because a lot of us make unrealistic goals, and then by the end of the year, we get upset because we were unable to meet the unrealistic goals. Be realistic with yourself. Be real with yourself, and then things will happen. You guys can go. That's all.
For me, how I come up with my goals, it's first self-reflection. I'm like, okay, because I know last year I had no types of patience, and I'm still working on that right now. Lord, please.
We all working on it.
And so, that was something that I had to tell myself and be like, no, Rachel, you got a really bad attitude. You can try to make over it and make it look all nice, but you rude, okay? And so, I had to be.
She's one of the nicest people I know.
I have a really bad attitude. But yeah, so I had to tell myself that and work at that. And then I also go to the Word and I try to find things in the Word that are going to shape my year. This year, be graduating, so everything that I've been looking at has been related to graduating. So I tried to find goals that would fall in line with that, because I know that whatever I know, right? I don't even look like I'm about to graduate. I'm looking for, right? But yeah, so I would have, I would read the Bible and try to help it fall in line with whatever I have going on this year. And so this year is graduating. And so I had Bible verse that would go along with that. Pray about it, watch sermons, listen to sermons at church just to know what God is trying to tell me. Pray, and try to sit and actually hear God talk to me about it. Because sometimes I like to tell myself things, and God is like, that is not the plan I have for you. So that's how I feel about planning out my stuff.
Yeah, I think you guys have said it all. It's self-reflection is so important, and sometimes I guess as humans Wow, human beings.
We knew what you meant.
As
Tomato,
human beings,
tomato.
we like to feel like we're good. We like to feel like, oh yes, like I'm so good. You can't tell me nothing. Like I'm great with where I am. But it's like there's always. But I think the beautiful thing about human beings is that there's always room for improvement. Like no matter what aspect of your life it is, there's always room for improvement, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, whatever the case may be. And so, reflection, like you guys were saying, goes a long way because it's like, you want to be a better you.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to be stuck in the same you that you were at 12. Like you're 21. Like you can't be the same you that you were like 7 years ago. That's not okay. So self-reflection goes a long way. And then, like you guys have said, it just all comes down to the Word of God. Like the Word of God is our guideline for life. And so it's like, if you're not aligning, your goals and everything in life that you do to it, then it's like, what are you doing? Because we can sit and we can plan things all day, but it's like, if it's not what God has in mind for you, then you're wasting your time. So, it's important to, pray about it and just make sure that everything is aligned. And like we're human, so it doesn't even have to be perfect, but God knows everything and He knows exactly what everything's supposed to be and where everything's supposed to fall. So, leaving it into His hands. And there's even like a sense of peace that comes with leaving it into God's hands, because you don't know tomorrow. Like tomorrow's not even promised. So there's a peace that comes with leaving it into God's hands. Like, yes, I'm going to do my part. I'm not just going to sit on my butt and like, yeah, you got
God's
it.
got it.
Right, like, but
It really be sometimes.
but it's like, making sure that we also play our part. Like, yes, God helps those who help themselves.
Yep.
The Bible says, inside your mind do thee. And so, wow.
Say it in
And
English.
so, the hand that doesn't work does not eat. Yeah. And so, like, we have to also help ourselves as God is helping us, so that it can all tie together and just be, work out so beautifully in the end for God's will and for our will too, so that everything in the end is like, when you stand there and you're like, yes, to God be the glory, it's like nobody can discredit that, because it's like, really, to God be the glory. So,
And I wanted to say, with the whole like reflection and aligning with the things of God, like, again, be serious when it comes to reflection and be realistic with yourselves. Some of us repeat the same patterns every year and we are back to the same place. Whether it's dating the same kind of people, be realistic. Whether it's dealing with the same kind of, like, you probably have a character that is just not good and it's resulting to the same things. Be realistic with yourself. We are not perfect, but we are striving to be better. That is the goal. So you cannot be better if you are in denial, and try not to be in denial. There's nothing wrong with being wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being wrong.
You're not gonna
We
grow
were
if you
wrong,
don't.
but still Christ came and died for us.
Yeah.
That's how important we are. So don't forget that.
yeah, and I just wanted to add one more point to that. It's okay to hurt your own feelings, because I would rather sit there and self-reflect and hurt my own feelings than for somebody else to come in from the outside and to
tear
do
me
it.
up.
Because the gentle,
true.
and again, even though I'm being honest and real with myself, the gentleness that I'm gonna have with myself may not be the same gentleness that the other person is gonna come in with. So it's okay to hurt your feelings, but at the end of the day, as long as you know that, like, wow, okay, yeah, like, I'm a little hurt that I am the way I am, or I'm a little hurt that I did this and I did that, but now now you can't sit there and be like, oh, I didn't know. Now so now you know how to move forward, be better.
You guys have said a lot, man. You guys have said a lot. I have a few things but I think like accountability is definitely like one of the big things. Like, keep yourself accountable. Like, in everything that you do, keep yourself accountable. Please keep yourself accountable. If you don't have yourself, like, have somebody that will keep you accountable. Because like, if you do not keep yourself accountable,
Forget it.
it's like putting money in your pocket and it drops on the ground. You don't notice it because the pocket is literally like, it has holes.
Holes in it.
So, like, don't be laying in your room with your legs outside. I'm just saying. That's an idiomatic expression. So if you do not know what that means, do not lay in your room and let your legs be outside. It means you are not comfortable. Like, know where you are in life. Accountable and be profitable to God. That's the biggest thing, because as Christians, like, God's God gives us a lot of different things to work throughout the year, throughout the month, throughout the week, whatever it is. Be profitable to God. Like, actually be out here working towards those things that you've gotten, and be profitable to God, because God blesses us. And it's not, these are not things that He just gives us to like just keep ourselves, or like just like hold on to it, like, ooh, this nice little precious thing, I'm gonna keep it to myself, and then like just hold on to it without letting it show, because you are light. If you are light, you brighten up. You don't dim down. You don't just put your hands around it and like kind of cut it to yourself. You have to let it. You have to let it shine. So definitely keep yourself accountable and be profitable. That's definitely one of those things. That's one of the ways that you are blessed. You don't go back for it, but you go for it. That blessing, because you know how to work with this blessing.
And I wanted to say, and always be humble. Always be humble. Every level that you get to, just continue to stay humble, and you'll get to the next level. But when you become prideful, it's not a good look. So always be humble. When God keeps moving you up, continue to be humble and keep yourself in that remembrance of where I used to be and where I am now. Don't ever forget where you came.
I was probably the last. We have a verse, Proverbs 19:1. It says, "Many are the plans that are in a person's heart, but it is God's purpose." You guys think? Is like so. Proverbs 19:21. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is God's purpose.
I'm silent.
I can say
It's heavy and it's deep.
No, that's a deep.
Yeah.
But I can say that is definitely true, because you will plan something out and God will let you know that is not what I had planned for you. And it's like, it's not even like a bad thing, like, oh dang, God's like controlling my life, but like, yes, God is controlling your life. And He's doing it in a great way. Like, He's not gonna just sit there and be like, oh, I'll just give you whatever. Like, He knows our needs. He knows like where He wants to take us, and God's not gonna leave us in a place where down here. Like, He's gonna take you from glory to glory. And so, you can have all these plans in your heart, and God knows those plans. And yeah, some of them might come true, some of them might not come true. But you have to also understand and accept for yourself that God's not going to take you to a place that isn't good. Like, He works everything out for your good. Like, He's going to make sure that everything you're going through, even if it's bad right now, is going to work out for your good. Like, if you look at the story of Joseph, where his brother sold him, and he went through a whole lot. Went through a whole lot, went to jail, all this stuff, but he came out being one of the rulers. Victorious. So it's like, God makes sure that every single thing, even if you make a mistake, God has already worked out that mistake into your life and it's worked out for your good. So like, yes, plan things out, but know that God's going to prevail. His plan is going to prevail. His goal for you is going to prevail, and that's like better than your own thing.
Amen. 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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. But no, I think, like, I don't know if you guys, like, have you guys heard the phrase, like, God has a sense of humor?
Yes.
It's so true. I think it's actually so true, and it's so funny because we like to sit and we like to make plans. Like, we like to plan out. We like to plan out.
You two already know what you want to marry.
Like, what? Especially for like females, we like to plan out as a. Let me not even go there, but like, we like to plan.
And your wedding dress, kids' names, house you gonna live in.
We like to plan, and we like to think that like we have control over everything that's happening in our lives. Like, it's all under my control. It's all under our control, and it's like, no, it's not. But there's also, like, it's one of those things that it's like, as she was saying, not because like God wants to, like, hover over you, like, oh, you can't do anything that you want, but because He is God. He is God. He is God. He is that I am that I am. And so it's like, if there's anybody else that will like have control over my life, who else would I rather have it be than the I am that I am? You know, exactly. I don't want my own control because he knows all things. He knows yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Like we don't, like God forbid, but we don't even know if when we go to sleep tonight we're gonna wake up tomorrow. But he knows that. He's already seen like 1,000 years over. But you know, it all comes down to we can plan a lot of things and we can have a lot of things in our heart, but at the end of the day, it's like he is God and he knows all things, and so he has that's the best intentions for us. And because he is such a loving father and he is such a loving God, and it's important to see him that way, because once you see him that way, because a lot of times, you know, we only see God as God, or like when things are like bad things are happening in life, we only see him as God. But when good things are happening, we're like, oh yes, my father, like yes, my father, like, you know, my father. But it's like when bad things are happening, it's like, oh yeah,
there's me and there's God.
Right, there's me and there's God. But it's right, there's me and there's God. But it's beautiful to see him that way, in that sweet, loving father, because it brings you the peace and the joy that, like, yes, my father would never let anything bad happen to me. And although I may not see it that way, he knows what he's doing. You know, he is the ruler of the heaven and the earth. He's the one that created it. And so if anything, it's like, I may not understand it now, but that's okay, because if I understood it, he wouldn't be who he is, and I would probably go crazy anyways. So it would just be too much. But you know, there's a peace in that, and there's a comfort in that. And so yes, we can plan all day, and yes, some things that we plan will come to pass, and others may not. But it's okay. You know, it's important. That's one key thing. It's important to understand that it's okay if they don't go how we want it to go. It's okay. You know, it's actually really, really okay. And to say that to yourself, like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, we move. Like, you're good.
Reminds me of that Bible verse where it's like, if we who are evil can give our children good gifts, like how much more our Father. Like, right. If we can give people good gifts, you know for sure God can give
much more
gifts that just blow your mind. Like, he's able to do exceedingly above all that we ask for. So it's like, God's got us.
Oh, I was gonna say, you guys got me.
Really?
But I was just gonna say that. Oh God, just dwell on His Word, dwell with Him, in Him, and all about Him. Yes. You know, we can't move on to where, like, let me say it this way, like how Gifty was saying, our own plans. Some have taken the route of doing things their own way and have failed. Right. And they blame God. That's not His fault. You understand? Because He's given us the will to choose. He may bring you a Mercedes Benz, and you may say, no, I want to go buy a Lamborghini. But you can't afford a Lamborghini. He's giving you that Mercedes paid off. But you want to stunt with a Lamborghini. I'm using this as an example because some of us have done this. And we later on lose the Lamborghini because we were unable to pay, and then we come back to God and say, why would you let this happen? And that's not the case. He gave you something of value, but you thought that, no, I want something greater than that. But probably you wasn't ready for something like that. Who knows? You probably was going to get that car in a year time. Right. But like with the whole marriage thing, you know, we females, we plan everything from marriage to kids, our kids' name, our this, our the house that we want to live in. Hey, the hair that we want to be wearing next week. I mean, seriously, the career we want to have, the job we want to have. So my thing is, it's good to plan, but be realistic and don't forget God. You know, God is supposed to be, sometimes people say, oh, you know, we ask God after we've made the plans. Right. No, ask God before you make the plans, so that the plans that you are making is in line to what He wants, so that you don't end up wasting your time. Some of us end up wasting our time doing things that we weren't supposed to do.
And then we're upset.
And then we are delayed getting to the destination that we were supposed to get to. So if you want to get to your destination, you have to learn to, again, surrender all to Him and go to Him. God, what is it that you want me to do? What is it that you want me to be? Not that, oh, I want to be this. God bless me so. Yes, He blesses us, but we have to also put in our mind, His will is different than our will. So you cannot ask for His will and you want your will to also be done. You ask for one, You understand? So if you're taking your route, you take your route. Don't come back and complain to God. But if you go God's way, like how they're saying, there's no way you're gonna fail. Because all things will be added to you. You know, those who seek him will find him. Those who knock on that door will surely open. It didn't say, oh, he's gonna come and answer in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or I'm coming. You know how sometimes you go to somebody's house and they know you're coming. You say you're there.
Texted them, I'm here.
You're 5 minutes away, and I'm like, oh, and they're like, oh,
sorry.
okay, I'm coming. You said that, okay, like you text me, Joe, and you say, oh, Ruby, I'm at your house. I'm like, okay. I knew you were coming, but I'm upstairs, and I'm like, and I make you wait for 30 minutes. God is not like that. He said, seek and you shall find. Knock on that door, and the door will open. So why should we ponder over like, oh, let me make my own plans without God? No, go to God, make the plans that He wants, let His will manifest so that His glory can be seen, so that others will see that no, I gotta follow this same God. You understand? When others are seeing the glory in you, then we are fulfilling that purpose in which we're supposed to do, which is, spreading the gospel. You know, so that's the number one thing anyway. But sometimes we make so much plans without him, and then we get upset. I just sit down. I'm like, I ain't like, oh, Charlie, no.
Yeah, because in the end, I think the thing that really sticks to me, because it's like in the end, when it's all said and done according to God's plan, it's not debatable. Like no one can come and you can't stand there and argue with me. Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, who are you? Because in the end, it's not debatable. Like, you are not God. You did not plan it out. I didn't plan it out, but He did it.
They can't even talk.
It's not debatable. Like, yeah,
they can't even talk.
Right.
People will look at you and say, Joe was able to do this.
Right.
They were like, hey, Joe is driving this, Joe is living this.
Rachel's
doing her master's or whatever. Rachel was able to get it done within a year and a half. How was she able? God's grace. You understand? So when people, when people see, then they're gonna be like, ooh, I need to get to their level. Which means they're gonna strive for betterness in their relationship with Him. So the itty bitty things for me, like I said, what shall be yours will be yours. That's just how I see it. I've put that in my mind. So my mistake was I always used to compare myself to everybody else around me. But I realized my name is Ruby Ansong. I'm not like Joe. You understand? I'm not like Rachel. Everybody has, even Rachel and all of us here, we all have names that we share with other people in this world. But they're not us.
Right.
They're different and unique in their own manner, just as we are. So go get it.
Go get it. Go get it.
Top it off, because they definitely said it all. I don't even know if I can come up with words. I can actually
the spirit is in here moving.
Hallelujah.
But like the plans that we make, kind of like you said, like many other plans that we have in our heart. But God's plans, like so our plans are just like we're just making room for God to like in any way that we can possibly can. But we need those plans. We need those goals. Just to be profitable. Like you have to have something going on. You have to actually apply yourself. You know what I'm saying? So these are just to make room for God to do whatever He wants to do, and within those means for you. So like, don't whatever you care about it, and I will. God
Manifest
itself.
God is still good.
Yeah. Like the whole point of it all.
The glory.
Like the whole. That's the whole. Like, as long as your glory does not matter. Your shine does not matter. I mean, your shine may matter.
No.
Hope you guys got something.
Oh.
You are definitely like God's test.
We'll go far.
To each other, and then we go far. Hope that you guys and God as well. never get to. You think that you never touch.
Amen.
And so, you know,
God is good.
Just believe. That's the word. Just believe in Christ Jesus.
2020, the year of believing. It will
Yep.
work
you will
out.
be so profitable. God, somebody out there. I just want to thank. I just want to thank. Definitely went through a lot today. Though.
They're good at what they do.
I know, I understand
Like,
definitely late today. That's, you know, you. Also, the whole team, a lot of us that work, body out, you know, everybody
hey,
Shout out
Joey
to Joe.
B.
Shout out to Joey B.
Joey B.
But I just want to also say thank you to our national head apostle, regional head apostle Seminole, pastor, Reverend Pastor, and then also next week we'll talk about. You know what? I'm gonna make it a surprise because you got Cassius, man. You got Cassius. You got Cassius.
Y'all gonna have to come back next week.
You're gonna have to Cassius over live.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be good.
I'm gonna have my wonderful co-host.
Hey,
I'm a wonderful co-host. Have more posture.
yes.
We're gonna come here and blast. That's Watson. That's a wonderful, wonderful evening. Out.
Bye. God loves you. Jesus loves you.